This is the last video for our discussion in random variables. We have the mean and variance of discrete random variables together with some special discrete probability distribution. So let's start with this one. The mean, variance, and standard deviation for probability distribution are calculated differently from the mean, variance, and standard deviation for samples. This section enlightens how this measure and new measure called the expectations, which are computed for the probability distributions. So let's have the probability distribution for the mean. The mean of a random variable with discrete probability distribution is the formula. We have the summation of our x multiplied to the probability of x. So given po yung x and p of x natin, yung x and p of x, i-multiply natin bawat isa, tapos i-add lang lahat ng yon para makuha si mean. Next, we have the probability distribution for variance. We have the formula x squared times p of x and then the sum. Ang summation po ng x squared natin na minultiply sa p of x. As after nun, pag nakuha na natin yon, ima-minus po natin yung mean squared po natin. Yung nakuha nating mean, is-squared lang po natin yun. Tapos ima-minus natin sa nakuha nating sum kay variance. Third, we have the probability distribution for standard deviation. Alam na natin to. This is the square root of the variance. So, yung nakuha nyo sa variance po, is-square root nyo lang para po makuha si standard deviation. Tapos, last natin, probability distribution for the expected value. The expected value of discrete random variable of probability distribution is the theoretical average of the variable. Theoretical average daw po siya ng variable. So, meaning, yung formula po niya is just the same with the mean, x times p of x, the sum. Pero po, we are solving for the expected value. Okay? So, let's have this example. 5 balls, numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, are placed in a box. One is selected, its number is noted, and then it is replaced. If this experiment is repeated many times, find the mean, variance, standard deviation of the numbers on the balls. And let x be the number on each ball, and then this will be the probability distribution. So the number on balls of x, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is the probability or the P of x. So, bawat isa po may chance na 1 over 5 or 20% pa yung chance na mabunot mo yung bawat number from 1 to 5. So, let's solve for the mean. Para matanong si mean, all you have to do is to find the sum of your x times p of x. So, multiply mo po muna lahat, bawat isa yung x times p of x, tapos add mo po yung lahat, that will be the mean. So, umpisahan po natin. So, ang x natin sa una ay 1. 1 times 1 over 5 plus, sunod naman, 2 times 1 over 5 plus 3 times 1 over 5 plus 4 times 1 over 5 plus 5 times 1 over 5. And then after that, solve mo muna po itong nakabawat multiply bago mo i-add lahat. So, 1 times 1, 1 over 5 pa din. Plus 2 times 1, 2 over 5. 3 times 1, 3 over 5. 4 times 1, 4 over 5. 5 times 1, 5 over 5. And then, since pare-pareho sila ng denominator, add mo lang po yung iyong numerator. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 10 plus 5, 15. So, 15 divided by 5, which is equal to 3. And that will be your final answer for the mean. Next, we have the variance. So, formula naman ni variance, ang pinagkaiba niya, naka-squared po yung x mo. Tapos, after mo makuha yung summation, ima-minus mo si square, naka-square na mean. Sige, start po tayo. So, x may squared. So, 1 squared times 1/5 plus 2 squared times 1/5 pa din, plus 3 squared times 1/5, 4 squared times 1/5, plus 5 squared times 1/5. Ima-minus mo ngayon yung nakuha mo sa mean na 3 squared. Okay, solve natin. 1 squared, 1. 1 pa din. 1 times 1, 1 pa din. So, 1 over 5. Plus 2 squared, that is 4. 4 times 1, 4 pa din, over 5. Next, 3 squared, that is 9. 9 times 1, 9 over 5. Next, 4 squared, that is 16. 16 times 1, 16 over 5. And 5 squared, that is 25, times 1, that is 25 over 5. Minus mo si 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, ito muna tayo. Yan, yung mga fraction muna. Add muna natin yan lahat. Tapos, tsaka natin i-divide kay 5, i-minus mo. So, 1 plus 4, that is 5. Plus 9, that is 14. Plus 16, that is 30. Plus 25, that is 55 over 5, minus 9. So, 55 over 5, of course, that is 11, minus 9. So, final answer for the variance is 2. Okay. And then, we have the standard deviation. So, as you can see, for the formula of standard deviation, all you have to do is to square root your variance. So, that is square root of 2. Kasi 2 yung nakuha mo sa variance. So, square root of 2, your standard deviation will be 1.40. And that will be your final answer for the mean, variance, standard deviation. Now, let's proceed in solving the expected value. Ano ba sa expected value? So, sa view po ng businessman, ito yung magkano ba yung kanyang pinuhunan. Magkano ba yung puhunan niya bago niya ibenta or bago siya kumita doon sa kanyang business. Example natin dito, 500 raffle tickets are sold at 25 pesos each for 3 prices of 4,000, 2,500, and 1,000 pesos. After each prize drawing, the winner ticket is then returned to the collection of tickets. What is the expected value if a person purchases 4 tickets? So, ano yung inaalam mo dito? Ang inaalam po natin dito is kung magkano yung original value ng isang ticket before siya ibenta ng 25 pesos bawat isa. Okay. Ngayon, ang sabi po dyan, yung tao na yon nag-purchase siya ng 4 na ticket. O, kung 4 na ticket, meron pong 25 pesos sa isang ticket, so 4 times 25 po. Magkano yung puhunan niya? Doon sa ticket na yon, 100 pesos po. Ayan, 100 pesos. Yung nagastos niya doon sa pagbili ng ticket, raffle tickets. Ngayon, ang kinuha niya is yung magkano yung magiging mapapanalunan niya bawat prices. So, sa unang price po, 4,000 yon. Sa gain, bakit siya naging 3,900 na lang? 3,900 na lang kasi yung 100 doon sa kanya, 'di ba? 100 kasi yung pinuhunan niya or yung nagastos niya sa pambili ng ticket. So, syempre, kung bumalik sa kanya 4,000, kanya yung 100 doon, 3,900 lang talaga yung napanalunan niya. Yan. So, sa 3,900 na yon, meron siyang probability na manalo na 4 out of 500. Kasi 4 na tickets ang meron siya out of 500 tickets. Sa pangalawang prize, kasi ang sabi dyan, return daw yung kapag bumunot, ibabalik ulit yung pangalan. So, ganun pa din yung chance ng winning. Out of 500 pa din. So, 2.5 yung second prize. So, since 100 yung sa'yo doon, 2.4 na lang ang possible mong makuha. Ayan, 2.4. At dun sa 2,400 na yun, meron ka ulit 4 out of 500 na chance na manalo. And then, sa third na prize po, we have 1,000. Eh, meron kang 100 doon. 100 yung pinuhunan mo. So, 900 na lang talaga yung mapapanalunan mo. At meron ka ulit 4 out of 500 na chance para manalo. Ngayon, minus mo sa dulong part po ng gain and probability. Ima-minus mo po doon kung magkano po yung halaga ng tickets na pinurchase mo, which is 100. And then, dun sa total na 500 tickets, meron kang apat. So, ang matitira ay 496 out of 500. So, let's solve for the expected value of each ticket. Okay. So, ano sabi dito? All you have to do is to multiply your x and p of x. So, umpisahan po natin. Yung una, 3,900 times 4 over 500 plus 2,400 times 4 over 500 plus 900 times 4 over 500 and then plus negative 100 kasi siya, so magiging minus na. Minus 100 times 496 over 500. And then, solve po natin ito isa-isa. 3,900 times 4 divided by 500. That is 31.2. Next, 2,400 times 4 divided 500. That is 19.2. 900 times 4 divided 500. That is 7.2. Minus 100 times 496 divided 500, which is 99.2. So, solve. Final answer will be 41.6 or 41.60. So, therefore, the expected value is negative 41.60. So, sa pinuhunan niya na 100 pesos, ang totoong presyo lang talaga noon na walang kita, walang tubo, is 41.60 pesos. So, meaning, ang halaga lang, since apat na tickets kasi kinuha niya, di ba? Ayan. Ang halaga lang ng isang ticket ay 10 pesos and 40 centavos. So, naging 25, kaya yung sobra dyan, yun yung tutubuin nung nagpara. And that is the expected value. Okay? So now, let's proceed with the sum special discrete probability distributions. We have three. The binomial probability distribution, Poisson probability distribution, and hypergeometric probability distribution. Okay, let's start with the binomial. This probability has only two outcomes. Meron lang daw siyang dalawang outcome at can be reduced into two outcomes. Outcomes are considered dalawa lang po, either success daw po or failure. Okay. So, binomial probability distribution requirements. One, there must be a fixed number of trials. So, given po dapat yung number of trials. Fixed po yung number of trials. Next, each trial can only have two outcomes and are mutually exclusive. Sabihin, can it occur at the same time? Number 3, the outcomes of each trial are independent. Sabihin, hindi dapat maapektuhan ng first try mo yung second try at mga susunod na try. And then fourth, the probability of success is the same for each trial. So, given po natin yung formula na probability of x is equal to n factorial divided by n minus x factorial times p raised to x, q raised to n minus x. May note po tayo dito. Dapat po yung x po natin is greater or equal sa 1 or less than or equal kay n. Okay po? So, yung x natin ay greater or equal kay 0 pero less or equal kay n. So, yung P dyan, or P of X, binomial probability distribution, kung ano hinahanap natin. Yung N, kung ilan po yung gagawin nating number ng trials. Yung X, number ng observed success. Yung P, probability success of success on each trial. And Q, syempre yung failure. So, let's have this example. In a survey, 25% of the people interviewed said they bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. If 11 people are selected at random, find the probability that exactly these people bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. So, ano daw po ang kinukuha natin dito? Ano yung binomial probability distribution natin? Yung probability po na exactly these people bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. Po ang kinukuha natin. Okay. So now, let's proceed with our n. Bago natin siya i-direct sa formula. Number ng trials. Number ng trials given natin dito. Ito po. If 11 people are selected at random. 11 po sila. So, we have 11. Next, we have X, the number of observed success. Observed success po, kasi ang sabi po, dapat exactly yung mga taong yun bumili ng refrigerator during the last 6 months. So, we have 6. And the next, the probability of success naman po on each trial. Probability po ng success, given na rin po dyan. 25% daw po yung in-interview nila. So, syempre, 25% yung probability ng success. And kabaliktaran, yung probability ng failure, syempre kung 25 yung success, out of 100%, ilan yung failure? We have 75%. And then, after yan, nakuha na natin lahat ng variable, value ng variable ng bawat na nasa formula natin. Now, let's substitute. Okay. So, let's have the P of X is equal to yung N natin, 11 factorial over N ulit, which is 11 minus yung X natin na 6 factorial. X natin ulit na 6 factorial, multiplied po sa P. 25% po, pag nilagay po natin siya sa formula, dapat po naka-decimal point. So, that is 0.25, 0.75. So, this is 0.25, and then raised to X, which is 6, times Q naman natin na 0.75, raised to n, ano yung n natin? 11 minus x natin na 6. Okay. So, may napansin po kayo dyan na bago, which is yung factorial. Ano pag sinabi nating factorial? Ibig sabihin po niya, nakamultiply po siya sa bawat susunod pa na number, pababa po, hanggang 1. So, yung 11 factorial na yan, that is 11 times 10 times 9 times 8, pababa po, times 7 hanggang times 1. Okay po? Okay, ngayon, 11 factorial yan. Dito po, 11 minus 6, which is 5 factorial. Tama ba? 11 minus 6 is 5 factorial. So, pwede po ang gawin nyo ganito. 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial. Kasi i-over nyo yan sa 5 factorial, 6 factorial. Cancel nyo na ngayon yung 5 factorial. So, si 6 factorial po, syempre ganun pa din. 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? So, perform the operation. Ito po, i-erase nyo lang siya sa 6. Tapos, etong 11 minus 6 which is 5. So, isa-solve nyo po muna yung nasa numerator. Isa-solve yung nasa denominator. Pagkatapos nyan po, i-divide yung dalawa. Pagkatapos ma-divide, i-multiply sa answer ni 0.25 raised to 6 at i-multiply ulit sa answer ni 0.75 raised to 5. So, what will be our final answer? So, final answer po natin, we have 0.0268 and then multiply it to 100. That is 2.68%. And that will be the final answer. That is the probability that exactly these people brought the refrigerator during the last 6 months. Okay? Next, let's have the second special discrete probability distribution, which is the Poisson probability distribution. It is a statistical distribution that can be used to show how many times an event is likely to occur within a specified period of time. It can be used to estimate how likely it is that something will happen for X number of times. It is often used for understanding independent events that occur at a constant rate within the given interval of time, and interval may be in terms of time, a space, and a volume. So dito po, si Poisson probability distribution, magagamit niyo po siya kung ang hinahanap po sa problem is the average. Okay, average po ang hinahanap sa problem. Formula po natin dito, P of X is equal to X is equal to the mean raised to the number of occurrence times E. Nasa calculator po yan. Pero it is approximately 2.71828 raised to negative mean over X factorial. Let's have an example para mas maintindihan po natin si Poisson. A vintage car breaks down an average of 4 times per month. Using a Poisson probability distribution formula, tignan nyo po, meron pong average na word. Yan. Find the probability that during the next month, this vintage car will have, letter A, exactly 3 breakdowns, letter B, at most 2 breakdowns, and letter C, more than 1 breakdown. So, given po yung formula natin. And then, for letter A po, we are solving for the exactly 3 breakdowns. Okay. Exactly 3 daw po yung magiging breakdowns po natin. So, ano po yung ating magiging given muna? Okay. So, ang sabi po dito, average of 4 times per month. 4 na beses daw po bawat buwan. Average yun. So, ibig sabihin, your mean is equal to 4. And then, ang E po natin, ito na po mismo yung given. 2.71828. Yung X naman natin, number of occurrence. Sabi dito kasi exactly 3. So, your X will be equal to 3. And then, we are solving the P of X. So, substitute na natin kasi may given na tayo. So, that is the probability where your X is equal to 3. Kasi exactly 3 breakdowns daw po. Is equal to, ang mean natin ay 4 raised to X natin ay 3. Tapos, ang E natin given na po, 2.71828 raised to negative mean, so that is negative 4, divide by X natin, which is 3 factorial. Ayan. So, 4 raised to 3 muna. Tapos, 2.71828 raised to negative 4 muna. Imumultiply niyo yan. Tapos, itong si 3 factorial po, that is 3 times 2 times 1. So, that is 6. I-divide niyo po siya sa 6. Anong makukuha nyo? Makukuha po natin is 0.19536. Multiply po natin yan sa 100%. So, ilang percent po na makakuha tayo ng exactly 3 breakdowns? We have 19.54%. Ayan. Ganyan lang siya kasimple. Okay? Kapag exactly 3 breakdowns. Ibig sabihin po, yung mean natin, hindi magbabago yan ha. 4, kasi 4 times per month yung average. Magbabago lang dyan yung X natin. Kung ilang breakdowns po ba. Yung E, ganun pa din. Nakalagay naman na kasi dyan, 2.71828. Sige, tingnan natin yung pangalawa. At most. Ibig sabihin, paano pag sinabing at most? Pinakamarami yung dalawa. So, pwedeng wala, pwedeng isa, pwedeng dalawa. Okay? Hanggang dalawa. At most 2 kasi. At most 2. So, mangyayari dyan, yung mean natin, 4 pa din. Yung x natin, 3. 0, 1, tsaka 2. Kasi, at most 2. Siyempre, ang e natin, ganun pa din. 2.71828. Okay. Sige, let's start to solve at most 2 breakdowns. So first, we have the probability of x is equal to 0 plus probability where x is equal to 1 plus the probability where x is equal to 2. So substitute lang. So same formula po. We have formula po natin. Sige, sulat ko yung formula. X is equal to x mean raised to x e negative mean over x factorial. Substitute. This is 4. Yung x natin, una muna, 0. Tapos 2.71828 raised to negative mean, negative 4, over ang x natin ay 0 factorial. So, that is 4 raised to 0 po. And again, any number that is raised to 0 is always equal to 1. Okay po? Same with 0 factorial. 0 factorial is always equal to 1. Okay po? So, hindi yan mag-undefined. Okay. So, same then. Substitute naman natin. X naman ay 1. So, 4 raised to 1. 2.71828 raised to negative 4 over yung x natin 1 factorial plus 4 raised to 2 naman times 2.71828 raised to negative 4 over x natin 2 factorial. So, same pa din po ang solving. 1 to, 4 raised to 0, 1 yan. 0 factorial, 1 yan. Solve si 2.71828 raised to negative 4. Ita times sa 1, divide sa 1. Same po ang process niyan. So, sa first po natin, answer is 0.01831 plus, sa second naman natin, answer is 0.07326. At sa third natin, answer is 0.14652. So, pag pinag-add po natin yan lahat, answer is 0.23809. So, meaning, we have 23.81%. Ang chance po natin na mag-breakdown po yung core at most 2 breakdowns. Okay? Ayan. Next, for letter C, ito naman. Ang sabi naman ito, more than 1. Kapag sinabing more than 1, more than sa isa. So, ano yun? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and so on and so forth. More than 1 po kasi ang Paano naman natin yan ngayon isosolve? So, para mas madali po sa atin, since more than one ang tinatanong dyan, kunin natin yung probability kapag 0 at 1 lang. Diba? Para yung more than 1, starting sa 2 pataas, ang gagawin na lang natin pag nakuha yung 0 to 1 is i-minus sa 1. Kasi yun yung more than. Okay? So, ang sabi po kasi dito, probability po na ang x po natin ay greater than or equal sa 2. Kasi more than 1 eh. Ibig sabihin hindi may sasama si 1. Kasi wala namang nakalagay na more than or equal. More than lang. So, 2 yon. Simula sa 2, papataas. Okay? Yun po ang hinahanap dito. So, ang kukunin na lang natin para mas mapadali, probability na ang x natin ay 0 plus yung probability na ang x natin ay 1. Pag nakuha natin tong ilang percent na to, ima-minus na lang natin siya sa 1 whole para makuha yung probability na more than 1 breakdown. Okay? So, substitute, ganun ulit, katulad nito. Ito na lang value yun, itong dalawang to. Yan. Kasi, na-solve na natin siya kanina. So that is 0.01831 plus 0.07326. So ang answer po niyan is 0.09157. So in percent po, that is 9.16%. Ito po yung 0 at 1. Hindi yun yung final answer. Kasi more than 1 breakdown. So, para makuha mo yung more than 1 breakdown, yung 1 whole po, or 100%, minusan mo ng 9.16%. So, ang final answer mo ngayon ay 90.84%. Ito ngayon yung probability na magkaroon po ng more than 1 breakdown. Okay? And then, the last, we have the hypergeometric probability distribution. It is used to model finite population situations where samples are taken without replacement and where the probability of successes is to be computed. It is applied when the probability of success are not the same from trial to trial, which is in contradiction with the binomial distribution. So, nasabi dito, hindi daw po pareho yung success po ng bawat trial po natin. Which is yun po yung pinagkaiba niya kay binomial probability distribution. So, this is the formula. P of x is equal to x is equal to scx times n minus scn minus x over ncn. Where big N is the population size, small n, the sample size, S is the number of success, X is the number of success in the sample, N minus S, number of failures in the population, N minus X, number of failures in the sample, and then what we are solving is the probability or P of X minus or X is equal to X. So let's solve this example. A package of 8 AAA size batteries contains 2 that are defective and 6 that are non-defective. If we select 4 batteries at random from the package, what is the probability that the sample contains exactly 1 defective battery? So, ano po ang kinukuha natin? Ayan, probability daw po na ang sample po, probability na sample na contains po ay exactly 1 defective battery. Yun po ang kinukuha natin. So, define po muna natin bawat isang variable. Ano ba si big N? Population size. Ano po ang sabi dyan? A package of 8 AAA size batteries. So, your big N or population size is 8. Next, sample size. If we select 4 batteries at random, mukha ka na ng 4. Yan. So, that is the sample size. Next, we have S. Number of successes in the population. Sinabi na rin dito na nagko-contain daw po yun ng dalawang defective. So, yun yung number ng success mo, which is S. Number of success naman sa sample. Ano bang kinukuha mo? 1 lang na defective. So, yung X mo ngayon ay 1. So, N minus S natin, big N ay A, minus S natin ay 2, which is 6. N minus X naman, small n is 4, minus X natin na 1, which is 3. And then after that, proceed na tayo sa solving. We have the formula. Okay. So, the probability of X equal to 1. Kasi kinukuha natin 1 defective battery. Is equal to, so we have, ang S natin po ay 2. Combination of X po natin ay 1. And then multiplied by N minus S natin, which is 6. And then combination of N minus X natin at 3. Okay, and then divide by big N, which is 8, C, b small n, which is 4. Okay, so paano natin yan ngayon isa-solve? Kung mapapansin po ninyo sa calculator ninyo, meron dyang C. Hanapin niyo po yung C sa calcu. Pwede nyo kasi siyang i-direct sa calculator. Make sure lang po na meron tayong proper tools. 2C1, and then 6C3. Yung sagot doon, divide 8C4. Pwede nyo siyang i-direct sa calcu. Pero po, meron po tayong mano-manong formula para makuha po natin yan. Okay. So, ito po, yung 2C1 na yan. Ang given po talaga natin sa formula is NCR. And then, kapag pinahaba po yan, we have N factorial over N minus R factorial R factorial. Okay. Yan po yung mano-mano na way. Kapag sinolve po natin siya ng mano-mano. Wherein, yung R po natin dito dapat ay greater than or equal to 0, pero less than or equal kay N. Hindi po pwedeng maging mas malaki ang R ninyo kaysa sa N. Okay? Bawal po magkaroon ng negative na factorial. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, unahin natin tong 2C1. Ibig sabihin, yung 2 po yung N, yung 1 po yung R. Pag dinirect natin siya sa formula. Okay? 2 yung N, 1 yung R. So, magiging 2 factorial over 2 minus 1 factorial, 1 factorial. So, ano po ang sagot niyan? That is 2 factorial over 2 minus 1, which is 1 factorial, 1 factorial. So, 2 factorial is 2 times 1. And then, 1 times 1, 1 times 1. Same pa din. 2 over 1, which is equal to 2. Ayan. Next, 6C3 naman. 6C3, that is 6 factorial, divide by 6 minus 3 factorial, 3 factorial. So that is 6 factorial po, which is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial over 6 minus 3, 3 factorial. So cancel na to. May 3 factorial pa, so that is 3 times 2 times 1. So kapag may nag-multiply yan, 6 times 5 times 4, that is 120, divided by 3 times 2 times 1, that is 6. So 120 divided by 6, we have 20. And then divide 8C4 naman. So 8C4. So that is 8 factorial, divided by 8 minus 4, factorial, 4 factorial. So that is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. Divide by 4 factorial, 4 factorial. So, cancel yung isang 4 factorial. Yung isang natira, 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 po, ay times 5, that is 1,680. 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, that is 24. Divide mo yung dalawa, that is 70. Ngayon, punta na tayo dito since nakuha na natin yung value nila. Yung 2C1, ang value ay 2. Yung 6C3, ang value ay 20. Divide by yung 8C4, ang value ay 70. So, 2 times 20, that is 40. Divide by 70, that is the answer. That is 0.5714. So, final answer will be 57.14%. Okay? Yun po yung probability na yung sample po ay nagko-contain ng exactly 1 defective batteries. Okay? So now, we have here our materials, but we will answer it in our synchronous class. So that's all for this topic. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure po na napanood po natin yung tatlong videos ng lesson natin for this